my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be reviewing my goals for 2024. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to chat through the goals that I had in 2024 and see how we did with them. I had a really interesting reading year in 2024. It definitely caught me by surprise. I had a lot of really interesting moments in my reading and I had a lot of goals that I was aiming towards and maybe a little bit too much structure, but there was some decent overlap. So I have quite a lot of goals. I think there was 32 in total, including like sub goals. So let's talk about them and see how it went. My first reading goal is to read 52 books and I well exceeded that by reading 158, so that goal was achieved. I did achieve that goal in Q2. Then my second goal, instead of having a pages goal, although I still set it on Storygraph, was to have 60% of my reads being over 300 pages, and I'm ending the year at 56.96. So I didn't quite make it. I gave up by the end because there were so many things I was trying to read to fill other criteria. I just gave up caring about the page size so I could actually get through it. And it is what it is. It was a very interesting thing to monitor throughout the year, but I had to make my peace that it was going out the window at some point. My next goal was to finish and or get caught up on more series than I start, and to not try and start more than 20 series or 24 as my absolute max. I caught up on 8 series and I finished 19, so I couldn't start more than 27. I started 20 novel series and 2 manga series, so I just scraped on by the skin of my teeth. I would have loved to have finished off another series, but I'm glad that I specified finished and caught up just to allow myself that grace as well. My next challenge was to get a bingo or to complete all of the life challenges for my bookish peeps, and I half completed this. I have currently packed away my washi tape, so I don't know where my bat stickers is, so I can't go in and put them in. But working down, I did a charity event. I shaved my hair and we ended up raising, what did we raise? $1,700, I think. So amazing. I did read the 3 Thursday Murder Clubs. I did read 7 Soul Eaters. I did read 4 Ice Planet Barbarians. I did pick my first book of each month going towards my 2024 goals. Sometimes I assign them to a 2024 goal just in case, but most of the time it was, let's go with this. I didn't finish Our Flag Means Death from Kara. I did go on a picnic. I did read 3 Realm of the Elderlings books. I did read 6 of the Iron Fae books. I did read 2 of the Poppy War books. I did read a book with aliens but set on Earth. I did have an intentional flow day. I did read 3 Great Sling books, and that was everything. So the only thing I didn't accomplish was Our Flag Means Death. And I'm so sorry, Kara. It just was something that I wasn't really familiar with in terms of reading fanfiction, and so it was really hard for me to work it into my reading. The only time I read it was when I was at the hairdressers, and when I was dyeing my hair I was there for quite a while, and then I attempted to read the longest one and got partway through and just didn't finish it. So I think I read 4 out of the 12. They were 4 of the shortest and then I started the longest. So I definitely want to keep it in my focus to know that I can go back to them and finish them off, because Kara's recommended them to me for a reason, so I would love to go back. So I'm counting my bookish peeps as half completed because I did definitely get a bingo, but I didn't complete all of the life challenges. And like, I shaved my head for this. Then I had my 2020 to 2023 book hauls. My first goal of that was to keep up with my book haul revisited, and I did complete this. I think I DNF'd one of the books, which is fine. From 2020 to 2022, I wanted to read 35 books from those hauls. I said 8 from 2020, 12 from 2021, and 15 from 2022. I didn't quite go about it that way. I read 3 from 2020, 23 from 2021, and 9 from 2022. So I ended up reading 35 books off of these hauls, but it definitely wasn't in the spacing that I had mentally allocated. Still counting it, still completed the goal. I also unhauled 2 books from 2020, I unhauled 1 from 2021, and 11 from 2022 book haul. So I did good. And then my last one for this category was half of my unread 2023 haul to be read by the end of the year. I had 32, so I needed to read 16, and I read 16 on the dot. No idea how I managed to do that, but I did. So I completed it. Then we have my book buying. My budget was $1,200 and I spent $395.34 on books, so happy with that. My second component of that was to read 2 books off my TBR to be able to put one on. I read 71 backlist books and 27 2024 acquisitions. I took 98 books off my TBR before unhauling as well. So I could have added 49 unread books to my TBR and have this be balanced. I'm at 34 remaining for my acquisitions, which so good. With that, I also wanted to read 50% of my 2024 acquisitions, so, or have them read. I could buy them having already read them, and that goes to this goal because it's keeping it balanced. Great. I love this. I love the stipulation. It makes it easier. I have, like I said, 34 unread acquisitions out of 74, which is a 54% to 46% unread percentage. I did it. I exceeded it. I am thrilled. This is amazing. I am so happy. And then the last goal was to put $1 away for every 100 pages that I read. I don't actually do this, but I just like to keep an eye on it and see if we do end up balancing with the amount that I spend on my purchases and then the pages. So I read 34,116 pages from my backlist and 2024 acquisition. So that's $341. Like I said, I spent $395. So it's close, but it's not balanced, and that's completely fine. I still achieved this goal of looking at it, keeping an eye on it, and seeing where we ended up. So my next section are my community goals. The first was to complete Bookstar. I did. I read all of the books, had very strong opinions about some of them, and characters. It was definitely a little bit of a spicier year for me in terms of my sass pants coming out just a little bit and stirring the pot. It was great. For Gerbitathon, I just fell off the bandwagon straight out of the gate. I didn't even look at it throughout the year, so I didn't complete this goal. Bookemon, I did every monthly prompt, every regular prompt that was available, and every seasonal prompt. The only ones I don't think I did were some of the themed ones and the mythical one. In terms of the yearly planning, I did 100% of the things that I was capable of organizing and doing myself and not having it thrown at me partway through. So I am thrilled. Roadhouse Reads, I completed with 100% done and dusted, all 80 prompts. Buzzwordathon, I did complete. I think I read the October book in December, and I think I read my May book in June, but I still completed it. And then for TBR Knockout, I completed this in its entirety. So for my side quests, I have both bookish and community. For my bookish goals, the first was to read 1 book from my scratcher bag. I did this by reading Wuthering Heights. Did I like it? No. Has it scratched off a scratcher scratched? Yes. That's all I care about. I love having this as a 1 book goal. I didn't even intend on ticking this off. I just happened to read Wuthering Heights and then realized it was on the map. My next goal was to read 6 nonfiction and or participate in Nonfiction November because it was the last year that Olive was running it. And I read 10 nonfiction text-based reads and I read 1 nonfiction graphic novel. So exceeded that, loving it. In terms of Nonfiction November, I read 1, which was an absolute accomplishment for me because it had been something that was on my TBR and I really wanted to sit with it. So it took me a while to get through in November, and then I ended up reading another one in December that I had planned to read for November. Yes and no. But I'm still counting it as completed because I did do the 6 nonfiction. Finished my rainbow shelf. I've just dismantled it and put it into the various bookcases that I have around because no, this motherfucking challenge, I did not. I have 3 left. That's it. 3. Think I can read them? Absolutely not. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. One of them is a series conclusion and it doesn't have an audiobook, so I keep dragging my heels with that. The other 2, no reason. They're standalones, but no reason. So yeah, didn't complete this one. And then my last side quest for my bookish sides was to read my 2022 extended self-destruct. So I have now self-destructed one of them, Teacher by Gabby Stroud. I can't do it. I'm not in the headspace and I don't want to go back into that world, so I'm not going to. The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Choshki I didn't pick up because it was the first book in a series and St. Martin's Press title, and the other was The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, and Danielle from Bukhara has put this on for Bookish Peeps in 2025, so I will be getting to it in 2025. I also need to get the Gilded Wolves as well, but I didn't finish this in 2024, so this was not completed. Then my community side quest, I had Orilium A Year in Audio, which I did complete. I had Read Your Bookshelf by Chantel Reads All Day, and I didn't complete this one. I didn't even look at it throughout the year. Same as the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, didn't complete it, didn't look at it. I had the prompts at one point and then just went, yeah, nah. And then my A to Z challenge I attempted. I kept an eye on it throughout the year, but I didn't actively search out for the ones that I was missing, which ended up being I, Q, U, X, Y, and Z. So I'm actually okay with that. I'm just cool. It's on my radar. Two of those letters, I can't remember which. I didn't actually have any on my TBR for, so it's not ones that I'm wanting to prioritize. But I know. So I put that as a half completed. And that was it for the community side quests. The last set of goals was in relation to my channel. So the first was to bring back Cluedo, and we did. I had so much fun with Cluedo. It's absolutely chaotic and I just have a glorious time doing it. It's not going anywhere. I love doing it bi-monthly and it just really, really works for me. Then I had live shows once a month at a minimum, and I think I did it in some way or another. I definitely did with including on other people's channels. I was either live on my channel or on someone else's, but I didn't actively keep track of this, so I put it as like a half completed. Then we had the Chaos Chats with Ash, which I didn't complete this. We didn't end up launching it because this is something that I want to do for my Patreon, and that was the original concept that I'd come up with for the Patreon live shows, but then I wasn't going to launch for Patreon, and then I did. So it's not completed, but there's reasoning behind it and I'm fine with it, and we will be doing it in 2025 on my Patreon, which I'm very excited about. I still need to organize January's. Then I had themed vlogs and I wanted to do a minimum of 3, and I'm pretty sure I completed this in the second quarter. I had a 1 week, 1 shelf that I did for February. I did swapping my screen time for reading. I'd hate to do that right now. My Fiji vlog, and I filmed a 3 and 3, and then I had my Sufferathon and Pick Pongathon vlogs. So I absolutely nailed it in that regard. Finding my groove with ideas and being involved in my friends' readathons and with my friends more, I definitely felt like I accomplished this by the end of the year, and I'm excited to continue and see what I get up to with my little chaos gremlins and my friends throughout 2025. Then I wanted to promote channels more. I do need to take into consideration that I am promoting channels in every single readathon video that I do and that is quite a lot of work to do that, so I did good. I feel like I went well with it, and I did shout out different channels throughout the year, and I'm also hoping to incorporate this more onto my Patreon when I do a weekly update, sort of talking through any YouTube videos really that I've been watching or consuming, or channels that I found, and sort of highlighting that as well for them. And then utilize my readathon form more. I created this to be able to save my ass when coming up to the end of a month and not having my shit together and having other people actually tell me about their readathons more cohesively than I ever could, and I definitely use this more throughout 2024. I'm so happy, I'm so appreciative, and I'm also so grateful to those who helped me in those months where I was way overwhelmed and way over my head in giving me the synopsises for the readathons as well, because it just took that little extra pressure off of it. Thank you. So I definitely used it more. I did forget in December and then realized after filming that I'd forgotten it, so then I went back and fixed myself for a little bit, but for the most part it went well, so completed. So out of the 32 goals I had, I completed 22. I achieved it to the best of my capability for 3, but didn't quite hit it in its format, the bingo, A to Z and live shows. And then I only had 7 that I didn't complete, and I'm really, really fucking proud of that. Also the fact in that I'm like, the ones I didn't complete, I'm okay with. I knew that a lot of them were the community-based ones that I just started off not paying attention to them, so I was always on the back foot and I wasn't going to catch up. I sort of wrote them off in my head at the beginning of the year. The only one that I'm like, is that 60% being over 300 pages, but it's just giving me a better indicator of my reading for last year, and I definitely was trying to get through quite a lot, so I went for the shorter things, and I'm completely fine with that because I did have a really good reading year. So that was it. that is everything. That is my goals. That is 2024 goals ticked, squared away. And now it is 2025's time to shine. And I am having so much fun with this, not gonna lie. I have had a little bit of luck up my sleeve in January and it's been very good, very, very good. So I'm just excited to continue on with this year and see where we get up to. So let me know in the comments anything you want to let me know, whether how your goals went, what you thought of mine, if there was some that you think I should continue on with just for shits and gigs. Feel free to let me know anything you want to let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you on my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!